Welcome back to the Angel Clark Show. It's Friday. That means it is Economic Roundup Day. I have on the line with me Ken Schortgen. Ken is the National Finance Examiner for Examiner.com. He has the website, thedailyeconomist.com, and he joins us once a week to talk all things economics. Ken, I want to thank you for sticking around. I know you always save the best for the last segment, so I'm sure that you have a lot of stuff that you want to go through still. And it seems that we have lost Ken. All right. So now I do know that some of the things that Ken had wanted to talk about, when I looked at the list of stuff that I had in front of me for today, I did have some economics news. And there's at least one piece that absolutely reminded me of something that I had discussed with Ken in the past. And that was the prostitution and drugs boost of Spain, because Spain, I guess, decided that the best way to boost up their GDP was to include what they assumed was prostitution and drug usage by users. So they basically said, all right, well, we think we've got this much drug usage and this much prostitution, so we're just going to assume that that's correct, and we'll take it from there. Of course, they never actually had any correct information, right? So basically what they're operating off of is assumptions. And so what we've seen Spain basically make this announcement. Oh, look at how fantastic our GDP is. And it's like, well, no, it's not actually fantastic. The reason your GDP is like that is because you included prostitution and drugs in it. And you can't verify how much of that actually came through. So what you can't do is you can't say, all right, well, this worked, right? You can't say, all right, well, this is our actual GDP. You can't do that. But what they're doing is, and the hilarious thing is they're saying now that drug trafficking made up 0.5% of their GDP, and the illegal sex trade made up 0.35% of their GDP. So they've got all these new numbers, right? The recalculated figures of Spain's GDP. It went from 26.2 billion to 1.05 trillion. Now we're talking euros here as well. So it's a huge increase. They reduced their debt ratio from 98.9% to 96.4%. That's a very, very big deal. And it was all based on these numbers that they're literally making up. Now, Ken, are you back with us now?
I should be, if you can hear me.
Okay, I can. All right.
I
don't know what happened,
weird.
But I know that you always save a bunch of stuff for the last segment, so I'm sure that you've got a lot to share with us.
Yeah, I know there's probably still a few questions because I was trying to rush through on that Karabars thing. Real quick on the last few things. Besides being something offshore, it's also something you can do with your dollars if you're afraid to keep them in a bank, if you're afraid of the dollar devaluing, et cetera. We know that the way that Russia and Europe and China are going is either for a gold-backed trade note or a new gold-backed currency. Gold as an asset in some form. That's going to be the hedge to protect whatever wealth you have as this world, transitions, changes. If the U.S. wins out in the proxy war, then the Fed is just going to continue to devalue the currency for forever. But that being said, on Karabars, you can either store your gold in vaults that they have, or they'll ship it to you. And if you want to keep it on site, what you do is they will send you a MasterCard form of credit card that you can not only upload or load with cash from your bank to then buy gold, but you can also sell your gold through Karabars, and they will upload the money instantly to your credit card, and you can spend it anywhere in the world.
So they've got like a built-in exchange.
Exactly. And this savings account, this virtual bank that you have, is kept in Germany. It is not none of this information ever goes to the U.S.
Oh,
It is not an investment. There are no capital gains. As a matter of fact, I was promised that no 1099 is required, so it is not considered an investment and there's no taxes on it. Now, I don't know the whole scoop of this. We can't do it in a few segments. But the other side of the coin is for those who want something to do with their dollars, they want to buy gold, but they don't want to stack coins and try to lug around, whatever it is, or worry about confiscation. The other side of the coin is it's also a business. It's an affiliate business. So if you wanted to have people sign up and under you, you would get commissions paid every 7 days on anybody who buys gold that signed up on your referral. So if anybody has any questions, I put in the chat room my email address. Happy to answer them. It's just an alternative. Some people like Bitcoin, some people like gold and silver, and here's an option, a third option. So anyway, getting to the fun stuff, Canada is suddenly finding it quite difficult to bring money into the U.S.
Really?
Because of the war on drugs and the draconian way that a lot of police departments are now seizing everybody's property under spurious reasons so they can sell it, so they can fund their own police departments. Over the past 10 years, over $2.5 billion has been confiscated from Canadians traveling to the U.S.
So what they're saying, I guess, is that they're why are they confiscating that much money?
They're confiscating it for spurious reasons, including quote unquote. There is drug residue on these bills.
But there's drug residue on just about all money, isn't there?
That's how they get away with it. Here's the problem. For Canadians who live outside the country, when they're going back into Canada holding these dollars, it costs more money in legal fees to try to get back the money than it is for what they lost.
Yeah.
And so, this is where the corruption, they know that very few people are going to actually get into it. Now, we've talked about in the past that the government has been trying since 2010, especially Nancy Pelosi, who wanted to propose a bill to take the $17 trillion in pensions and somehow get them into the government coffers. Well, they started out first earlier this year with Obama's MIRA, My IRA, where you give your money to the government and they'll give you a 3% return.
Yes.
Well, suddenly something else is happening. One of Obama's great plans is the Global Infrastructure Initiative. And what they want to do is they want to make green infrastructure and green development around the world using public and private interaction. Well, the way they're doing it now is CalPERS, which is the California Pension Fund, has sold off $4 billion of its investments in the U.S. markets and is now diverting that money into this infrastructure fund. So they're becoming the precedent, and you could see pensions get funneled into these great UN and globalist initiatives as a means to, rebuild the world in their image.
Yeah, I can see that.
By the way, for as little time as they actually work, how much do politicians actually earn per hour?
Oh gosh, I have no clue.
They earn a whopping $608 per hour.
Oh, wow.
On par with what the most prominent lawyers in America make. Now, if you want to base this with somebody who actually does something, anesthesiologists, who are among the highest earning professions, only make $113 an hour. Tells you how much time.
So what you're saying then is these guys make more money than literal geniuses, and it's mainly because of corporatism, I would assume.
How few hours they actually work.
Ken Schortgen, thank you so much for joining me. The Angel Clark Show will return Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Until that time, remember, no army can stop an idea whose time has come.
So I'm just going, it's a part. Hey, heck yeah.
This is the Angel Clark Show.